Today, we're going to see how to create a simple form, and you'll learn in a few minutes how to do this. That I'm sure most of you are wondering, how do we create this form? Where do I start? I know how to write it out, but how do I put it in a web format? Don't worry, I'm going to show you how to do just that. First, you're going to start, like I said in the last video that I made, you're going to start with the doctype HTML, the HTML language of the website. English, we have French and Spanish, other languages, but I want mine to be English. Then we have the head. In the head, we have meta character set, UTF-8, the language, the character set for website, the meta type, meta name, viewpoint, contact, weight, device with initial scale 1.0, title is 4 because it's a form that we want to create. And the style, here is the style. Since we don't have a specific name for it, it's best we just call it style.ss. It's, even though I've not made it, but just type in any name, just so as it don't be blank. And up next, we're going to close the head and then start with the body. In the body, we are going to create input type text. Input type text, and in the text we have a name. In the name we have in every form, the first thing we find out will be first name, so we can shorten it as F name. This is the name in case you want to use it for JavaScript work. And then we have placeholder. Now placeholder is, you know, those little things you see in a form, like there are some sites when you see a name, you see first name inside it. Well, when you click on it, it somehow disappears, and then you find out that it's the letters that you're typing that are in there. These placeholder are what those letters that you've seen but then disappeared are. They're like in a way helping you to know what you're where you're supposed to type it in. Some people use label as a way of showing what to type, others use placeholder, so it's a choice. But today in this video, I'm going to show how to do both the input, the placeholder, and then the label. So let's see. First name, first name, and then we'll have break. Let's put it to the next line. Yes. So after that, we'll save our work. Then the next would be input type text. What else do we see in a form? We see after first name, the next thing that we see would be last name. Last name. After last name, the next thing is placeholder for last name. Okay, then we'll break it. ER. After that, we'll want to ask the individual that we are making it for. The client, we need the person's email for contact, about subscription, letters, and all the rest. Then the name would be email, obviously. Then placeholder, and the placeholder would be email address. There, then break, and for security reasons, we would not want the information of our client to just go out. So we'll ask for the person's password. This name is used in JavaScript. It's used for functions for it to work, but we will not talk about it. It will be later on when we're talking about JavaScript work. So the name, password, obviously, then the placeholder would be. Now, some people use the asterisk to show password. Others use P and then asterisk D. Some can just type in password. Whichever one it is, it's a choice. But I like this one. It's more like, when you see it, you already know it's a password that you're about to type in. So then you put a break, and then final but not least, after you type in all of this, you would want to add this. After you've typed in all your information, you would want to submit. In this submit, it's not name, rather it's value. Value, it's what we're putting. Value, it's the name. And that value would be log in. Then save. Now to see our work so far, we'll have to go to a web browser and see what we've done so far. Let's see it there. The first name, it could be anything you want. Last name, anything you want. The email address, anything at gmail.com. Login, the password, anything, then login. So we've learned how to create a form, but some people, so this typing in this, some might forget what to see that they wanted to type in. So the label is sort of a guide to help people know exactly what it is that they are doing. So we're going to add it here. A label for what? A label for um a label for okay, name name first name um label for first name, yeah, and then first, okay, name, Control S. Let's see how it look like here. Do you see? You see the way it came out? Then we have, we'll just copy this, and then after copying it, okay, copy, okay. Then we move to the next, Control V. So in order to have any problems, I always leave out spaces so as not to confuse my work. So the next would be last name, after which we'll make another one. This one would be for email, email, email. After that would be the one for password. What's the password? Password. And no, this input type does not need any label. Everyone already knows that this is um, a login. It's more like a button. So when we save our work, and then we can see first name, last name, email, password, and login. All of this is what makes a form, and we've seen. So it's a choice to either write the first name, last name, email, the labels, or you can use the placeholder, or you can, as this one shows, use both of them and then log in. It's not working yet. So in our next video, I'll show how to design or use CSS to make this page more beautiful, more creative, more fabulously unique. So we've seen how to create a simple form, although there are other things you can add to your form, but this, like, you can add select option. We'll discuss that later. But the first simple and the first start, if you're a beginner, these are the basic things that you will need to put in. You need to learn what the label is for. This is the label. And then you need to learn the input types. We have text, we have email, we even have numbers. Yeah, in case you want to put a phone number, you want to put URL. This, all of this, don't worry, we'll discuss this in another video. But for now, just be satisfied in knowing that you've learned and that you start applying how to create a simple form. In the next video, we're going to design it, and then we'll move on to the select option buttons and the input types that we have. So thank you for watching this video. If you had benefited from it, please make sure to like, see the puppy dog eyes, subscribe to this channel, the Jadis House of Fun, Coding House, and subscribe and practice what you've learned, because information without practicing it's kind of meaningless. You need to practice what the things you're learning so as to advance more in your web development career. So, thank you and have a great day.